Be warned, you are about to fall into China's Alpine Kingdom. Sacred birds dance gracefully, flashing through the forest. Washington shamans on a great expedition drive back the demons. Mythical beasts with the head of a deer and the body of a horse leap for joy. This is a place hidden far, far in the southwest. Even the people of Yunnan might not know it well enough. It's located on the border and lies by the Linking River, which is how it got the name Linking of Yunnan. Is it magical or mysterious? What is Linking really like? This flower is called the crystal orchid. Its whole body is snow white, crystalline and translucent, like a moonbeam spirit. Hey, what's this? Zooming in, they're actually orchids. It's called the tree grass orchid, one of the smallest orchids in the world. Be careful, the sap of this spirit is highly toxic. If it touches an open wound, your life will be in danger. So it earned the name sea blood, seal throat. These magical plant spirits, why have they all gathered in Linking? Let's turn back time a few million years. The Hengduan Mountains rose with a roar from the southwestern land. The mountains and rivers stretched southward, all the way to the Tropic of Cancer. And that is Linking. The carving of high mountains and deep gorges has taken 6 climatic zones that originally spanned over 3,600 kilometers and compressed them directly into a vertical altitude of 2,979 meters, creating countless micro-worlds. This rare combination of low latitude and high altitude means that Linking's winters are not as cold and harsh as in other parts of the Hengduan Mountains, and its summers are cooler than other areas at the same latitude. It's a place that is truly like spring all year round. And beneath the earth, a network of underground rivers, sinkholes, and karst caves form a secret realm at the heart of the world. When the Ice Age arrived 40,000 years ago, it was in these very caves that the ancient peoples established a foothold in the primeval forest and then migrated all the way south, eventually spreading throughout all of Southeast Asia. What's even more remarkable is that Linking is situated on the southwestern border, long isolated from the disturbances of the outside world. This has given all sorts of extraordinary life a chance to grow. This small piece of wood, when it falls into water, it actually sinks. This is the hardest and heaviest native wood known in the country, ironwood, and China's only remaining forest of ironwood is right here in Linking. The locals even believe that even if the world were to end, it would live on, immortal. And this ... can you tell what this is? This is the western hulic gibbon. These creatures moving through the dense forest are Asian elephants. And this is China's only indigenous, native peafowl, the green peafowl. In addition, rare species like the Yunnan Tibet magnolia, the Revisia tree, the Brechnidaria sinensis, cycads, and more, along with various nationally protected animals, have all appeared here, freely absorbing the essence of heaven and earth in their own kingdom. But with the arrival of humans, these spirits will take on another mission. Legend says that beside the Buddha, there was a divine bird with a human face and a bird's body, a master of song and dance. The male and female birds spend their lives together, bound by song and dance, unwaveringly loyal, together guarding all that is beautiful in the human world. This is an intangible cultural heritage of Yunnan, the Kinara dance of the Jainmut Dai people. Living in this kingdom of spirits, people have a deeper reverence for heaven and earth, believing that all things have a spirit, even impersonating them to pray for good fortune. And so, the spirits that were born in the wild mountains walked into people's lives, joining more than a dozen native ethnic groups, guarding a corner of the world. The Dai people, who revere water, mostly live along rivers. Their skirts and dance movements sway like water, and even their architecture is carved with totems of water dragons. But that's not enough. Every year, their passion for water is taken to the extreme during this festival. Are you ready? Welcome to the Water Splashing Festival. Let's cast away our worries and revel to our heart's content. But for the Washington people, born of the mountains and wilderness, everything is fiery and wild. They carve giant trees to make wooden drums. Once the drums beat, they dance for days and nights without stopping. They worship the black of the earth and the red of the flame. And their clothing often pairs black with red. They even take pride in their dark skin. They even smear mud on each other to pass on blessings and courage. The darker you get, the more favored you are. They also take the motion of flinging their hair dry after washing it and turn it into a wild dance of black hair, passionate and unrestrained. And there's more. Fire, which dispels the darkness, is guarded by the Yi people. Tea, which has nourished generations, is revered by the Blang people. The gourd, which gives birth to life, is worshipped by the Lehu people. And the shared growth of human civilization and all living things will ultimately unleash on this land its true life force. This is an ancient tea tree that has been cultivating itself for millennia. He is already more than 30 to 100 years old, a full 100 years older than King Zhou of the Shang dynasty. The tea ancestor has countless disciples. Over 40 million ancient tea trees in a vast expanse cover more than 400,000 mu of mountains and have miraculously been preserved to this day. And these tall, arbor-type tea trees can grow to be over 20 meters high. As one of the birthplaces of the tea tree, with its one-of-a-kind tea resources, Linkang has become the largest tea-producing city in the entire country. Even top-tier famous teas like Bingdao, Xigui, and Dianhong all come from Linkang. These magical leaves have become the essence in the cups of countless people. So what was it that allowed these ancient spirits to unleash the divine power they had accumulated for thousands of years? What finally set it free? Was it the ancestors of Linkang, who for centuries carried goods on their own backs and on those of their horses, fording the magnificent Langking River and crossing the unending Hengduan Mountains, forging a Langking River civilization? Was it after the founding of New China, when modern cities rose from the ground? But at the same time, the people still revered heaven and earth, believing that all things possess a spirit. This even attracted more spirits from the outside world to come here and reveal their own divine power. Can you guess what covers these hills and mountainsides? They're Hawaiian nuts, also known as macadamia nuts. In the 1990s, in the name of development, locals began to introduce macadamia trees. To everyone's surprise, Linkang's year-round spring-like climate actually allowed this little foreign nut to find its fertile ground. And so, the magic began to work. Thanks to the hard work of the people of Linkang, the area dedicated to growing macadamia nuts here now accounts for nearly 40% of the global total. If you pack them into barrels 1 meter in diameter, you could stack them up and up and up and up, all the way to the space station. Today, the people of Linkang can proudly say, this nut isn't from Australia, and it isn't from Hawaii. It's a local specialty of Linkang, Yunnan, China, the Linkang nut. Now, how about this little red fruit? Do you recognize it? What if we peel off its skin? But even people who drink coffee every day probably don't know that 1/4 of the entire country's coffee bean production comes from Linkang. If you were to pile them all up, this is what the scene would look like. What's more, their quality is considered top tier in the coffee world, having won championship awards multiple times on behalf of China. And there's also this, and this, and this, and all of this. These are all fine goods from Linkang. This is Linkang, Yunnan. Ancient primeval forests, sinkholes and karst caves carved by mountain streams, and vast, mighty rivers have together nurtured countless spirits to thrive here endlessly. The ancient inhabitants transformed these spirits into their beliefs, creating a brilliant and unique ethnic culture. And when new opportunities arrived, they allowed this land to shed the old and embrace the new, continuously releasing its charm. Ultimately, amidst the Hengduan Mountains, on the banks of the Langking River, a unique kingdom of spirits was born. It will dazzle your eyes, captivate your ears, and conquer your palate. Here, spirits are everywhere. The spirits are life itself.